Pope Francis, like his predecessors, has really extended a hand out to the Indigenous communities around the world and really promotes their voices, their expertise, in order to be able to address some of the challenges as well that we are facing today, for example, like climate change. So Miriam-Rose speaks a lot. She's a custodian of traditional knowledge, including through her connection to the land. And today she presented Pope Francis with an image of what she describes finding God in nature, which for her is very much a part of her faith and her spirituality.
Dr. Miriam-Rose Ungunmerr Baumann is one of the most respected Aboriginal leaders in Australia and was at the Vatican last week to meet Pope Francis and inaugurate a new artwork at the Vatican museums.
He goes out and meets people and stuff, and people gather around just to watch him and see him. Drive past in the Pope-mobile and it was exciting. And then I knew that I was going there to hopefully catch up or meet him. And I said, oh my God, will I ever when I got there, will I ever get a chance to meet him? And sure enough.
Ungunmerr Baumann is an Australian Aboriginal teacher and artist who addressed the themes of spirituality, ecology, and reconciliation between the Church and Australian Aborigines during her visit. Her visit coincided with Reconciliation Week in Australia, an annual celebration of Aboriginal history and culture, as well as the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Australia and the Holy See.
Every year in Australia we celebrate Reconciliation Week. It's the same week every year, and it's an opportunity for non-Indigenous Australians and Indigenous Australians to come together and find ways to continue the reconciliation journey, which began in 1967 when we had a referendum to remove discrimination against our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. This has continued over the years, and in 1992 we had a historic landmark decision in our Supreme Court to recognise native title, and that was on the 3rd of June. So that marks the end of our Reconciliation Week. This year, particularly because of our 50th anniversary, we invited this Aboriginal elder who's very well respected and has done a lot to promote reconciliation in Australia through her art and through education, Dr. Miriam-Rose Ungunmerr Baumann, and she comes from a very remote community on the banks of the Daly River in the very central part of Australia. She's travelled for days to be here with us this week, and we're hosting a number of events to really bring her voice to the international stage.
During her stay in Rome, she met with Archbishop Paul Gallagher, Secretary for Relations with States of the Holy See, to discuss Indigenous affairs. Ungunmerr Baumann emphasizes that building bridges between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples must be understood in terms of reconciliation. During a panel discussion at the Australian Catholic University campus in Rome with Bishop Paul Tai, Secretary of the Section of Culture of the Dicastery for Culture and Education, she used the term walking in two worlds to describe the experience of being an Aborigine in today's world.
For us and my people, to enable us all to be able to function in this world, in this era, we've got no choice but to understand Westerners and how they live and function in towns and cities. You know, my community is in the bush and it's surrounded by nature. We live on the banks of a river called Daly River, and coming here sort of threw me. It's just cement walls here, buildings and all that, and some of the buildings are very old. And then it'll probably take me a while to settle and understand here, you know, and I suppose it's also the first time to come here. You've got to try and be there to be understanding of them and them of us.
While in Rome, she held talks with representatives from Caritas Internationalis and the International Union of Superiors General. She also participated in a Mass marking the 50th anniversary of the first Indigenous Liturgy. On this occasion in 1973, a large number of Aboriginal people gathered in Melbourne for the first Mass incorporating elements of Indigenous languages and culture. While there has been much progress in including Indigenous communities around the world, there continue to be many struggles and inequalities still faced by Aboriginal communities in Australia. Dr. Miriam-Rose Ungunmerr Baumann's witness and bridge building has been an important sign of hope and reconciliation.